as some, untypeable, unique, special flower that no other person can be like or whatever, as a lot of people do, and they feel as though they're being boxed. They feel as though they're being constrained and they're typed. Somebody gives you a type, they're saying, this is what you're like and only like that, and you don't get to be anything else. No, nobody's saying that. And yes, you aren't that special. Both those things are true, People don't like the idea that they have to be subject to being pinned about anything, whether who they are, whether it be what they're saying, whether it be the implications of an emotional state or anything. People don't like to be pinned down. And as a general rule, that's bad. Good night, Luna. Sleep well. Dream of INTP things, such as deliberation and complete knowledge before choice making. Go, kitty. As the INTP drifts to sleep, she thinks, complete knowledge, complete knowledge. Finally I can make decisions. Okay, you just count complete knowledges as you go to sleep. 1 complete knowledge, 2 complete knowledges, 3 complete knowledges.
I'm jealous of INTPs, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of them too. Sometimes. I like to tease them, but they're pretty cool. I mean, they kind of got some shit down that I'm never going to get down, so it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, INTJs and INTPs.
I'm not jealous of INTJs in the same way at all.
I think INTJs are pretty cool. Like if you look at Elon Musk, for example, or every single aristocratic kid in your environment that is like the top of the class and knows how to do shit is probably an INTJ.
Well, I'm not saying I don't like INTJs. I'm saying, unlike INTPs, I don't feel like, man, you guys are good at that thing that I'm not good at. I just think that they're so foreign to me that I just go, well, you guys are cool things I don't understand, really. I mean, I get them conceptually, but I'm saying I don't know what it would be like to think with that brain. Like my student Grace, who's an INTJ, the way that she doesn't give me really any cues that she's learning shit. She doesn't say things like, okay, I get it, or or sometimes I'll say, okay, Grace, so explain blah, 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 blah. Well, she would just sit there in silence. Listen, this is INTJ. I gave her an instruction like that. Explain A, then B, then C. Sit there in silence. And I've learned that what I need to do is just sit there and wait. She is not telling me she's thinking about it. She just says, she sits there in silence, and what she's doing is preparing herself to do the task I just instructed her to do. And my job is to wait for as long as it takes for her to be prepared to do it. When she starts, she does it all the way through perfectly. But I have to wait for her to be ready. That's INTJ. That is not anything I have any idea what that means. I start before you're done asking the question. And whatever your question was, I answered the first thing and started going on to other more important shit right away. That's not really what the teacher, that's not what coach asked you to do, though, Eric, is something that ENTPs go, well, fuck coach then. INTJs, they have her approach. What the fuck? What is that, right? I have no even capacity to understand it.
I mean, INTJs are quite interesting and understandable. It's just ENTJs that are pain in the ass from time to time. I don't know, maybe just the INTJs I've met were very mature, or I didn't talk to them at all.
Oh, they are way more mature than NTPs for sure. I'm not disputing any of that stuff. I like them. I like Grace's weird way of learning, weird way of approaching ideas like that. It just seems weird to me because as an NTP, I get the idea by messing with it. I realized I make the thing into a square by first making it into a pile of mush, then kind of making it a square-like thing, then making it a circle, then making it kind of like a triangle-y thing, and then kind of finally gradually work it right. Okay, now it's a square. Meanwhile, INTJ has done none of that other shit. They just wait, and then go, okay, square.
But it's a perfect neat square.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's odd to me. I respect it a great deal. I also understand its limitations. They're not good improvisers, and NTPs will whip their ass in improvisational stuff, which is what happens a lot in debate. But as time passes and they get more and more deeply into it, the ENTP advantage disappears and it starts getting neck and neck for a long time. And then towards the end, the INTJs start to take over a bit because their kind of understanding is
beyond.
Well, it's more outcome focused. So they're more likely to put together precise shit and not miss that detail that the ENTP misses that ends up deciding a very close round. Because there's no disputing the fact that ENTP is naturally king of the thing. But INTJ once they put in the time, they are absolutely are equals. And a lot of times they end up winning the national championship and stuff.
I mean, ENTPs aren't made to make perfect shit. They are made to make quick fixes when shit goes down and south.
Well, I'm talking about argumentation, which is both those things. Okay, and that's why ENTPs are naturally best at it, because we may not be naturally the best at the INTJ planning, strategy kind of shit. They're better than us at that, but we're way better than them at the improvisational shit. And so that's why that's why we're king of debate. But it doesn't mean that you can't compensate for that way better than by being a little bit better at the strategic shit, because if you put in sufficient time, you can eliminate the need for an improvisational vector, because you basically can meta up and out of every argumentation chain, even if it's one you never heard before. And that's what hamstrings INTJs before that point, because ENTPs will hit you with something you've not heard before. If you're an INTJ, that's the death knell, because you need your time to think about it, and you don't have that time in debate. And if you answer it wrong, now you're stuck with that answer, and kaboom! You just said blah. Well, then blah 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 and blah, and you're toast. So you got to make sure you give the right answer on the fly. That's why INTJs take a long time to get to be the best, but eventually they kind of do surpass ENTPs. Eventually, at the very top level.
Exactly. That's why they are ahead of us. I think there is like an INTJ master race. Just it sounds like it.
Well, I'm not conceding any sort of hierarchical second-class status for ENTPs at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're gonna play master type, I'll take ENTP in that debate any day.
Why?
Well, because I am one, for one thing. So I'd prefer to argue that position. But for the other, while we don't necessarily use power the most or the best, we have the most powers.
I think it's vice versa. I think because we have an E, it means that we can abuse it everywhere, anytime, anyhow. And that's our biggest advantage. But an I can't be used that way.
Okay, well, improvisation is, it's a way to call it our advantage. It's more like our nature and our constraint. So it can be difficult for me to execute something that's too precisely as it was intended to be executed. It makes me even have an out-of-body experience almost. Like when I was in high school, I used to do a memorized speech event called Original Oratory, and I was reciting a memorized speech over and over again. When I'd give the speech in a round, I would have this weird out-of-body experience where I felt like I was floating above my body and looking down at myself giving the speech. It's the only experience where only time when that would happen consistently. I mean, it was a feeling more than a visualization more than anything else, but you could physically feel the vertigo almost. Why? Because I guess because I was stuck in SI or something. I mean, I don't know what kind of memory that is exactly, reciting something that's memorized, but I'm much more comfortable just not referencing anything, just letting loose. Just I can feel the difference between just and E versus that thing. Memorized speech. So there's that quality, yeah, but it's not our only advantage. It's what shapes who we are because it prevents us from attaining outcomes in normal ways. We have to come up with weird workarounds. Okay, see, this is the difference between a NTJ, NTP. NTJ says, because I seek to know everything, I cannot do that by any expansion. In fact, I'm not actively not focusing on the truth and the knowedness of the things I know when I'm doing NE, because it's necessarily challenging the things I know by making new things, which are by definition distinguished from that which is old and therefore often in conflict with it. Not necessarily, but often enough. So you're right about that. Yeah, casual. I've been looking for it. You're talking about the one where I explain FE and all that kind of shit? And we're talking, you and me are talking, and you say that was a good one, Eric. You should put that up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's the same set of videos that I put up the one I'm joking around about fucking chakras and stuff, right? I went to make the video you're talking about. I ended up making that instead because it came first before that. And I don't remember where. I got to figure out which video it's in now. This morning I was going through videos and naming them and seeing a little bit of it and organizing shit of it, which I need to do to make sure I remember what projects I got going. I'd like to have like a list of these are the projects I currently have going, because there's about 4 or 5 of them that I have underway but incomplete, and that's one of them. I mean, that's too broad a definition. NE is the ability to utilize information, because you can use information. Here's a shortcut from A to B that bypasses C. Oh, thanks. I will make a right turn here. That's not NE. That's using information, though.
Yeah, but when you have NE, you're better at it, theoretically.
No, but it's not using the information that you're better at. It's building off of the information and linking. We're not very good at using information. In fact, I think we're actually quite bad at using information. I was convinced that I should make this investment thing about a month ago. I think it's probably too late now. I knew I wasn't going to do it. I knew I should. I knew I really wanted to. I knew I wasn't going to. Why wasn't I going to? Sounded chore-like.
Yeah, but you get more information, in my opinion, through that way.
More information about what?